Hey, it's me, Renee. I'm back. And since it was International Women's Day yesterday, today it's going to be all about the feminist books. Also, a little side note. So I'm following someone on Instagram who's originally American but who's moved to Norway and stayed in Norway for some years. So they do kind of videos about how Norwegians are weird or like their yeah cultural shocks and also like Norwegian language stuff and stuff like that, really. And they did a post recently how United States they don't really celebrate the 8th of March, International Women's Day, which to me was baffling because in Norway it is celebrated every year. I mean, I suppose it's up to you how you do it, but I would say most places have some sort of celebration. Either there's a parade, like usually, like all big cities have parades, like parades where it's not just going around saying "Woo, power." It's like parades where you go around having banners saying like better women health or better pay or uh make rapist pay and like yeah, also sorts of different women courses really. They yeah, talk about that. And then after doing a little parade you'll usually have some speeches. So there's that. That's in a lot of places in Norway. And then if you can't do that or don't want to do that, like the radio often plays just woman songs on that day. I suppose you might like post on Instagram, just like easy way to do it, but you might post like woman offers. But yeah, it is celebrated some way. Like I would say it would be hard not to like find some sort of celebration, some sort of yeah. And of course, if you meet any woman, you say happy birthday, or no, sorry, you're not a happy birthday. You say happy kind of congratulations. You say congratulations or happy day. So it is celebrated, I would say. I haven't gone to a parade in a few years now because I have a nephew whose birthday is today. So usually he celebrates around the 8th. So yesterday he celebrated it yesterday, and yeah, and yeah. Uh, so I haven't really celebrated like kind of big in a few years. But I still kind of like to read feminist books in March. And also that's kind of funny because I see people online talk about Women's History Month, and I don't really feel like that's a thing in Norway. We do have Black History Month, but that's in October for some reason in Norway. But like we don't really celebrate the different months. We don't really do that. We have the National Day, of course. We have a National Day in May, and then we have the Indigenous Peoples Day. That's in February. But we don't really have months that we celebrate in Norway. There's not really a whole month for those people really. But of course, if you're kind of in the know, if you pay attention like me, you might still like celebrate. Like you might like in November, I do non-fiction November. In June, I read Pride books, so you might still celebrate those kind of months in those ways or different ways. But it's not like official for like everyone in Norway to like do months things really. But yeah, that being said, here are some feminist books I want to highlight and talk about. If you've been there before, you might have seen some of these before. But if not, or also if you've seen them before, hey, take this as a nudge to go and read them or just kind of agree with me that these are amazing books. And if you haven't seen this before, if you haven't been here before, hi, I'm Renee. I read everything, but I'm also a proud feminist. And yeah, these are some feminist reads that I recommend. So I suppose you could say, like, what's a feminist read? Well, some of these books are kind of like feminist, like in your face about feminism, like very clearly. And some of them are kind of in different underlying ways. So first, like, suppose go power ways and different. Yeah. First, we have Gear Girl by Holly Smale. This is the first in a six sets, so 6 book series. It's also been made to a Netflix series. So yeah, there's that. And the main character is very much underdog, but she's also very much a feminist. Like she doesn't really stop herself from doing stuff because it's a man's thing. Like she goes around, she's very much intelligent. She knows stuff, and she's not really ashamed to know stuff, which you might sometimes be if you like feel like I should to know about things. Well, Harriet Manners knows stuff, and she's not ashamed of it at all. So yeah, very girl boss, girl power book, I would say. Though also I want to also kind of warn you, this book will make you cry. At least it makes me cry. Every time I read it, it makes me cry. There is bullying is happening in this book. So you know that. Also, Harriet has autism, though it's not on paper, but yeah, that's what she has. So if you want to read an autism book, pick up on that one. And then we have The Fiancé Farce by Alexandra Belfleur. This is a sapphic romance, and they're both kick-ass in different ways. One of them is kick-ass, rich and powerful. One of them is kick-ass, but like saving her little bookstore, kick-ass powerful. And yeah, it's just an amazing, amazing book. I love it on audio, but of course, it's still a great book, so you could read it also as it is in physical form. Also, beautiful cover. Such a beautiful cover. I think one of my favorite covers ever. Yeah, I want to say ever. Yeah. And then we have a recent favorite, Coffee Dates. Coffee Shop in an Alternative Universe by C.V. Lee. So I read this last year. No, this year. Anyway, well, I think maybe last year. Anyway, doesn't matter. This is a sapphic romance between people who live in different universes. That's quite fun, but it's also about saving the world. So, I mean, I suppose the cover looks maybe quite cozy, and it's described as cozy, but it is also about saving the world. So it's not about saving your family or your small town. It's about saving the world. Uh, but it's also quite cozy in a lot of ways, also. And yeah, it's very much girl power, and I suppose it's kind of like dystopian, like in like going after a bad government entity. So yeah, I suppose Hunger Games for people who don't like hunger or war. It's not really Hunger Games, but you know. And then we have A Love Is for Losers by Vivek Bruckerman. A bit of an older book. It's also, well, yeah, these three, sorry, uh, this one, this, and these are YA books, so you know that. This is written by a German author, but she lives in England, so if you want to read a non British author, yeah. It's a very fun book. I mean, it's a great title. And yeah, it's about finding out who you are. It's kind of like a quintessential YA book. It's also a bit of sapphic romance in there, but it's not like a huge part of it. And yeah, I need to reread this book, but yeah. Then we have Julia's Song is Undateable by Susan Lee, another recent favorite. I read this last year on audio, and then I got it physical because it's amazing. I need to have a physical copy to borrow out and whatnot. And yeah, if you've seen Gilmore Girls, if you know, yeah, the character Paris Geller, that's very much Julia's Song in a lot of ways. Not all ways, but in a lot of ways. So if you want Paris Geller to be Asian, and a bit different, but still kind of want that kind of character, this is a book for you. It is, yeah, just an amazing, amazing contemporary romance. Then we have A Long Shadow by Olivia Atwater. Faye and Ghost and Oh My, like things are happening. It's a mystery. There's also love happening, but it's also like for a long time I would say it's kind of very mystery based and then love based and then the very like last 20 pages like whoa, everything is flipped on its head. But it's also quite fun and yeah, it's very feminist I would say. Amazing book. And also short. So if you want something short, this is the book for you. And then we have Soulless by Gail Carriger. the first of Gail Carriger's oeuvre. It's her first ever published book, and it's just such an amazing read as well. I would say, yeah, very feminist. Alexa Terabati, the main character, very much doesn't take crap for everyone. She knows what she wants. She's stubborn, and she just wants no matter the consequences. Like she doesn't care about society. And yeah, for me, that's a very feminist issue, really. That you don't care about people. People think you should do. You do it. You do what you want to do, no matter what. Of course, within reasons. You don't go around murdering people and whatnot. But yeah, you know, she's not scared to do stuff. And then we have Role Playing by Kathy Yarley, a book I read now 2 years ago, but yeah, it's a very good book. This is about people with contemporary romance, people falling in love later in life. He's 50s, she's in her 40s. She very much knows her own worth, and he's a bit more unsure, but they're both feminists, and yeah, very good book. And then we have Fire by Kirsten Kasor. So I suppose now we're kind of going into a bit more like feminist reads, like feminism, feminism. I don't know why I'm yelling there, but yeah. This is set in a high fantasy world. It's all about monsters, and it's kind of like takes the question: is a monster created or made? Like because like if you're ugly or treated like a monster, does that make you a monster? Or like how you look? Or is the monster what you do? So yeah, it's just a very, very good book, I would say, with some feminist issues and aspects to it. And then we have Diary of a Confused Feminist. It's right there in the title, really. And Must Do Better. For some reason, when between this book and this book, they changed covers, which annoys me. You also have this kind of cover with the first book now, but I honestly kind of like this cover more. But yeah, so that's why I have different covers really here. It's English, well, British YA, and very funny, but also relatable, and yeah, it's just amazing book. Also, I feel like that I'm missing something at the moment. I feel like what's this offer? Also has another series. It's not here. This annoys me. I'm gonna take a little look because that, my dear friends, I need to find that book. So stay with me. La 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 la. This is not annoying. I can't find the book. I mean, I find other books that are prevalent, but I can't find the book that I'm thinking about. Give me a moment. This is not helping. Oh, cool at all. I don't know why I'm yelling, but it's weird. It's weird. It's weird. Where did it? Sorry. It was hiding. Slightly. But yeah, we also have A Murder on a Summer Break. I also have the first book. I don't know where that's hiding, but yeah, this is part of the duology by the same author. This is a bit more murder based, crime based, but also cozy, also very funny, and also very feminist. So yeah, pick up that one. And then we have Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Coulthurst. This is the first in a duology. Sapphic romance, high fantasy, and very feminist. It's like all the women trying to run the country instead of the men. Very, very good. Anyway, I just saw a button there. And then we have the exact opposite of okay, and a girl called Shameless. So I suppose kind of like in the Moxie world. It's set in the US, but it's written by a UK author. This is all about slut shaming and rape culture. Very, very feminist books. Very good. And also, I just remembered another book. I forgot to talk about it yesterday in my Instagram. I'm gonna find those books. Stay put. I don't think you're going away, but stay put. So then we have Margot Mertz takes it down, and Margot Mertz for the win. So yeah, I'll do all three. Think Veronica Mars, but more modern. But it's very much the same vibe, I would say. Very feminist vibes. Very good YA series. Though, yeah, the second book, the way it ends, I didn't love the way it ends. It wasn't awful, but yeah, I'm just gonna give you that hint, really, there. And then we have Amelia Westlake Was Never Here by Erin Gough. This is an Australian author. It's set in Australia, and yeah, very much a feminist story. Then we have. Give me a moment. This series by Darcy McGuire, which is the lady's deadly, Queen's Deadly Assassins, all about women in the 1800s helping the Queen stop injustice, but also stopping this gang of people who uh, stole maids and then sold them as slaves. So this quite different historical romance, but also mystery series. Highly recommended. And yep, then we have still a few more here. I love my girl power books. Then we have The Benevolent Society of Ill-Mannered Ladies and The Ladies' Road Guide to Utter Ruin. First and second book in the series. Very much two sisters going against the patriarchy in the 1800s, of course. One of them kind of uh, wants to be more follow the rules. One of them doesn't care about the rules, but yeah, and they're like completely old. They're in their 40s, but yeah, still kind of like it's old woman. Oh, they're not 19, and yeah, very good series so far. And then we have Alyssa Cole's Hope Divided, or a novel of the Civil War. This is the second in a trilogy, all about spies during the Civil War in United States, all about African American spies, and also romance happens. It's so good. And then we have Bringing Down a Duke by Evie Dunmore, suffragette romance, first in the series. Yeah, also, this is actually one of the first books that made me read historical romances. But yeah, this delight of a read. And also, yeah, of course, feminist read, because it's all about suffragists getting the right to vote. But not least, I have a few more here. Sorry, I do. This became a long video here, but yeah, you can see the timestamp when you start it. and post it if you want. Then we have a few Norwegian books. Though some of these have been translated, so you know that. We have Jul på Himmelfjell Hotel and Sommer på Himmelfjell Hotel by Kjersti Herland Johnsen. So I actually met this author last year, so I got it signed, so that's quite fun. And also, side note, this book is actually out in English, and it was actually also hyped in Entertainment Weekly and like different places. So that's fun. I would say think Gilmore Girls, but set in Norway. It's kind of like small town, quirky characters. There's family history, family drama, love drama. Yeah, kind of the same vibe, I would say. Uh, yeah, I suppose maybe a bit more Hallmarky, but I would say more Gilmore Girls than Hallmark, really. So yeah, this is the first, the second, and then a third book is on the way. Even though honestly, I kind of felt like the second book wrapped things up nicely, but yeah, there is a third book on the way. And yeah, this is out in English. I haven't heard about this second book yet, but probably I don't know how big it sold the first book, but anyway. And also, I suppose the first book can be read as a standalone. So yeah. But yeah, very feminist aspects because it's all about women being girl bosses, stuff like that, and going against patriarchy and yeah. And then we have En lykkelig slutt, Anna Louise Morseth. So this one came out last year. Norway's first contemporary romance. We have some historical romance in Norway. We don't really have that much contemporary romance. And I would also maybe say that maybe this because the historical romance we have it's kind of more drama based, that it's not purely romance. This very romance. And yeah, this is has recently actually been translated to Danish, Swedish, Finnish. Maybe Finnish is coming, but yeah, but it's also been translated to Dutch, and it's coming out in German. I haven't heard anything else yet. I don't know if it's been coming out in English. Hopefully, it will happen. But so far, I haven't heard anything about that. But other languages are available. You don't have to be Norwegian to read this book, so you know that. And the second book is coming out in the fall. Looking forward to it. It's part of a companion series. So, yeah. And I also got this one signed, so that's fun. Then we have Evna or The Might. I think it's called The Might, yeah. So this is part of the Raven Rings by Series Edition, and this whole series is translated to English. This is the first series, and so there's two trilogies. Well, one trilogy and one almost trilogy. It's going to be a trilogy. The third book hasn't been published yet. And he's also talked about there's going to be a third trilogy after that. So that's fun. Personally, I kind of like the first trilogy more than the second trilogy. Like, I read the first book in the second trilogy, and I haven't read the second one yet because it took quite a turn. Like, this is a YA book, I would say, in some ways. The second book is very much violent, raw, quite different. It's set in the same world, but different timelines, different place. So, yeah. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, if you want high fantasy, slightly Norse mythology based, not quite, but slightly, check out the series. It's out in English. I recommend it so much. And yeah, of course, feminist aspects up the wahoo. And then last but not least, we have Vilma for Alltid, or the Vilma series by Gudrun Sketting. She said first that this was supposed to be the last book. Well, this is one of those places where the first book was supposed to be one and done, and then she wrote more, and then this is the third book. And then she said that this was going to be the last book, and then she hasn't actually published another book after this. And I think maybe she's talked about writing a fourth book, so I suppose things happened. Uh, you never know what's happening there. The first book is also been into movie. Quite nice, quite very good movie. I don't think this one exists in other language. Well, sorry, exists in German. I think might exist in Swedish and Danish, but that's it. But yeah, for me, it's just a very good book. And definitely lots of feminist aspects to it, I would say. So, yeah. Have you read any of these? Do you have feminist books you want to recommend? I suppose, yeah, I could also go into feminist nonfiction. You know what? I'm gonna make an own nonfiction video because, yeah, I'll make my own video for that. So, yeah. Hope you have a nice day and that you had a nice weekend. And, yeah, see you soon. Bye.